Hello, and welcome to the Studio 25 Podcast Network with Creative Outpost, executive producer David E. Warner. This is Steve Cully's Festivus of Sports. Yes, it's a Festivus for the rest of us. And joining me, as always, my co-host and cohort, my partner in crime, my Robin to my Batman, UConn legendary quarterback Shane Stafford. Shane, great to see you again.
Dude, it's always awesome to get hooked up and linked up and talk some football with you, brother.
So you're going to go to your boss and you're going to say that you need December 28th off so you can come to Fenway and go to the bowl game when UConn plays North Carolina. That's what we have to do.
Mandatory, huh?
You gotta work it out. There's got to be a way you can get it off. It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday. Come on.
I think I might be able to do that. I think I might.
It's a Saturday. Take a ride up. We'll get a nice hotel room. Get a lot of baby oil, and we'll get our free con. We'll do it all.
You had me at baby oil.
I had to throw it in there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was.
No, you had me at baby oil right there.
I couldn't let that one go. That was a good one.
That was a good
one. So we obviously are looking at our New York football teams, and just when we think it can't get any worse, it always does.
It somehow finds a way, doesn't it?
It always does. And I have to start with your boy because you love Aaron Rodgers. I know you love him.
I love him.
Yes, you do love him.
All right. Let's talk about the ways I love him.
He had a pretty good game. He threw for 339, a couple touchdowns. He still looked like he would rather be playing in a game of Candyland than anything else. But what were your thoughts on them taking a loss to the Miami Dolphins in overtime after having Tua, who was on IR for 4 weeks, and they still find a way to respond and win football games, and they're still not giving up on the season. They don't have a large percentage chance of making the playoffs, but they still have a chance to make the playoffs.
Certainly,
and I do like Mike McDaniel. He's definitely a little quirky. And he's a little nerd, but he knows football, and he runs a really good offense that's tailored to Tua and his strengths. I still don't know if he's the guy that you're going to want to pay $40 million a year when his contract.
Are you talking about Tua or McDaniel?
Tua.
Yeah.
I don't know when his contract runs out. I don't know if you're going to want to give him that $40 million extension that everyone's getting.
Yep.
But what were your thoughts on the Jets? Just Devontae Adams, he caught a touchdown pass. He's getting his game together. Rodgers decided to show up this week and play somewhat. But 3-10. 3-10.
Yeah.
When they were Woody Johnson proclaimed them the best roster ever, and they should win the Super Bowl.
Well, first and foremost, an owner and anybody else in management that has never won a Super Bowl in their lifetime should never ever proclaim or claim that they're going to win something when they don't even know what it takes. They don't understand what it takes to get through that, or just to get to the playoffs what it takes. Because when is the last time the Jets have been to the playoffs? Yeah. Don't worry, I'll wait. My point is this.
They have the one of the longest droughts.
Exactly. Was it the butt fumble? Like, I don't even remember, to be honest.
You're absolutely right. It was right. The last time they made the playoffs was when Rex Ryan was making foot fetish videos.
Yes, exactly. I'm sorry. Aaron, that dude was 27 for 39 for 340 and one touchdown, no picks. The dude balled out. And yes, I am on his tip, if you will.
No, on his tip. Not the whole thing, just the tip.
Just the tip, you're
just gonna let the tip sneak its way in there. You're not.
I don't want to say everything yet because he hasn't won a playoff game with the Jets.
No, I know. He hasn't won much anything with the Jets. You're right. You're right.
No, but in all seriousness, man.
They were playing without Breece Hall too.
Yeah. Yes. But at the same time, you can't count on this dude. The way Aaron plays, he needs a little bit of a defense behind him. Plus, I think they're going in the right direction. I truly do. I truly believe the Jets are actually going in the right direction. Garrett Wilson, 7 catches, 114. Devontae Adams, 9 for 100, one touchdown.
Exactly.
And that's great. And Braylon Hall was the next leading receiver. Or Braylon Allen. I'm sorry, Braylon Hall. I'm tripping. But he was the next leading receiver there. But there were 6-7 guys that caught passes from Aaron. Aaron. That's what he's used to doing, is spreading the ball around, taking shots when he has them.
Exactly.
What he's also used to having is when he sees a light box, is being able to run the rock. He wasn't able to do it. Although, I mean, to be honest with you, they averaged right around 4 yards a carry. That's not bad.
No, they did. I don't know that they ran the ball enough. I mean, he only had 11 carries, Allen.
Dude. And from a rushing standpoint, they had 83 yards. How many attempts? I don't even know.
And they've struggled up front. Yeah. So I think if he's really committed and doesn't want to host Jeopardy or do Dancing with the Stars or go on The Bachelor and wants to play football, he's under contract with the Jets.
Who are you talking about here?
Aaron, your boy.
Aaron.
Maybe you run it back with him.
I agree. I think you should.
Because I don't know who else you're going to get. Yeah. I don't know I don't know what the quarterback market's going to be like. I know Russell Wilson will be a free agent. I know, God forbid, Sam Darnold's going to be a free agent, which would be hilarious if the Jets brought him back.
Yeah.
But Jameis Winston's going to be a free agent. There's not a ton of options out there, and it's not the greatest quarterback draft class.
No.
The only thing I'll say is the Jets drafted the quarterback from Florida State last year, I believe, in the 4th round. I don't recall what happened with him because, he obviously hasn't played. Maybe he got hurt, but I'm pretty sure they drafted.
Yeah.
They drafted the Florida State quarterback who was pretty good. Who
was that? Ken O'Brien? No, I'm just kidding. Was that Jordan Travis?
Yeah, it was Jordan Travis. Yes. Who didn't play?
Ken O'Brien. We need Ken O'Brien back.
Yes, if you're calling for Ken O'Brien, then you're in trouble. Yeah, I would.
Hey, Ken O'Brien was a beast, dog.
He for the draft class of '83 or whatever.
Yeah.
I give him his due. He did well.
That was the draft class of Marino and
Elway.
Elway. I have that. I
Yeah.
have that whole Tops football cards. I have
Oh,
that
you
whole
had
draft
that whole
class.
set?
Yeah, I have the whole set, bro. Yep.
Wow,
It's a good set. It's a good
that's
set.
incredible. Yeah,
It's pretty
but
cool.
yeah, Kenny O'Brien was a serviceable quarterback, and
Serviceable. He was a baller.
okay, he was not a baller.
Okay, balled out.
I'm gonna look at Ken O'Brien's stats overall,
Oh,
just because I would never use the term baller
baller with Ken
when
O'Brien. Dude,
describing
I'll tell you what,
Ken
he had a
O'Brien.
hell of a haircut.
He did. He
Yeah.
did. He did. He did.
And now
Okay.
you know how Dave and I always get onto different subjects.
Well, he's 64 years old, which is good.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was only a two-time Pro Bowler in 85 and
You
91.
said only a two-time Pro Bowler? That's like saying he
I'm sorry.
only played in the NFL.
Well, okay, I shouldn't say that. But most guys make the Pro Bowl several times if you're a good or above average quarterback. You know,
Yeah,
you're making it 4 or
he
5
made it
times.
several times.
Twice. He made it twice.
I'll
He
give
made
it to him. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's not several, it's multiple.
He made it twice. And he had a couple famous duels with Dan Marino when he played for the Dolphins. Now, had he been in a different division without Dan Marino and Jim Kelly, maybe he would have flourished. Maybe he would have. But I'm just looking.
Yeah. You're looking up Ken O'B's.
Yeah, I mean, statistically, I mean, yeah, he was really pedestrian.
You got to remember, though, this is Ken O'Brien in the 1980s.
Right. No, I know.
If they threw the ball 20 times, you're doing something big.
His best year was 85, when he led him to an 11-5 record. He threw for 3,888 yards.
Dude, that's
25
amazing
touchdowns
back then.
and 8 interceptions. Yes. And he followed it up with another 25 touchdown season, but he threw 20 interceptions in 1986.
Hey, Peyton Manning threw like 30 interceptions and 25 touchdowns at one point.
Yeah, his first couple of years, and then when he was with Denver at the end, he struggled.
It's but amazing how people they perception is reality. And Ken O'Brien and the Jets sucked back then. So Ken O'Brien sucked back then. When I truly believe Ken O'Brien was not a bad quarterback, man. He was put in a bad situation. Dude, look, okay.
He had Al Toon. Al Toon was one of the good receivers, right?
Yes.
Right? But mean,
they didn't have a team. They didn't have an organization. When are we going to start?
No.
When are we going to start? Okay, Steve, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
I agree with you. The front office.
When are we going to start having organizational people being under the microscope? Like, quit blaming the players. It's not the players. It starts at the top. And the Jets are bad not because of the players. Dude, I promise you, on any other team, would Aaron put up with 27 of 39 for 340 and 1 touchdown, no picks? That's a game-winning performance, man.
But you got to also remember, he went several games this year without even passing for 200 yards. You know, so it was a great breakout game for him. But consistency, he struggled to get over 200 yards, that barrier.
But that was the other coaching staff, though.
The other coaching staff was there for 4 games. So I don't put it all on them. I put it on Nathaniel Hackett, the offensive coordinator, who got demoted. and is the passing game
Coaching
coordinator.
staff.
Yeah. And, Joe Douglas, I thought, was an awful general manager throughout
Steve,
his time there. I will give you that.
here's what I'm gonna tell you. One of the greatest coaches to ever coach in this game has always said, coaches do not win games, players win games.
Yeah,
Coaches
100%.
lose games.
100%.
Now we're allowing one of the best to ever play in his position. Seems like he has an opportunity to have more input on what's going on, and
Yes.
egos are thrown out the window. And Aaron, maybe he went for a quick trip to Thailand. Who knows? And he came back better. But
maybe he did.
What I'm saying is this: let players play, coaches take a step back and relax.
Yeah.
I think the Giants will be better.
They're not going to be better. You think they're going to be better with Drew Lock as their quarterback or Tommy DeVito, or if they draft Shedeur Sanders, that they're going to turn things around?
No, I think Aaron Rodgers needs to get one more year.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
With his class of the guys that he wants. And sometimes it is swallowing your pride, understanding that guy on the field, this is the same stuff that Aaron Rodgers, that Brett Favre had with certain people up there in Green Bay.
Yep.
Where they said, hey, let me control the offense. You worry about the defense. Offensive coordinator, just listen to me a little bit. I know what's going on in the field. I'm just going to give you a quick story, man. Dude, one of the most nervous times I ever was as an offensive coordinator and coach was when I was coaching a guy who came off of MVP year in the Arena Football League. And I know people are going to say, oh, it's arena football. No, it's professional football.
No, arena's even tougher.
Well, it's dealing with grown men is what I'm talking about. So this guy the quarterback came off of an NFL MVP year. So I was like, damn, like how I got to make sure my P's and, everything is
you take care
dotted, T's are crossed. So he ends up being not only just an MVP, we go to the playoffs, we win, we go to the championship game. Unfortunately, we lost. He's the MVP. He's the offensive player of the year. So my point is saying to you, Steve, is the fact that if you allow a player to be themselves,
correct,
and you can reel that in and allow that in that small bubble, and allow them to be their own leader, but yet they know and you know that you're still the one calling the final play as an offensive coordinator and or a head coach, you should be extremely successful. You have to give successful quarterbacks, successful people opportunities to be successful.
Speaking of other successful quarterbacks, the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons played, and they basically swapped quarterbacks. Well, not swapped. Sam Darnold goes to Minnesota, drops 42 on Kirk Cousins in Atlanta, and they win. And, Atlanta's still in the mix for the NFC South. But Minnesota is 11-2. Detroit is also 11-2.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see who comes out of there and then who gets a home wild card game. But you have loved Sam Darnold all along. He's another guy who's on a 1-year deal. And we had a debate last night with Dave and Frank and I on the other show about what to do. Frank refuses to pay Sam Darnold. He doesn't want to give him a long-term contract. Sam Darnold's only 27 years old. So a 27-year-old who is having an incredible year, he's probably going to end up with, I think he's got 25 touchdowns now. He could have 30 touchdowns, and he's going to have over 3,000 yards, maybe 4,000. How do you know? I mean, they can franchise tag him, or they can give him a 3-year deal. Just pay him. What more do you want? What else out there can you get?
I agree.
Is the other thing, because I know these teams want to move on from some of these quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But how many elite quarterbacks are there really in the NFL?
No, you're absolutely, like, you talk about elite. There's probably 5 or 6 elite quarterbacks. Then you have 6 to like 12, 6, like number 6 to like number 12, not 6 to 12 more, but then 6 to 12 that are very, very, very good in the right situation. And that's what I would put Sam Darnold in, bro. He's in a great situation.
Yeah, he's got 2 great receivers.
Yeah, man. If I were Sam Darnold, I would say, you know what? Let's come to a conclusion. Let's close this chapter. Sign me to whatever deal you want to. Look, Kirk Cousins did a great job in Minnesota. So
and he's the only guy to get franchised twice. He got franchised twice.
So why is it that, and kind of going back to the Jets, why is it that any quarterback that goes to Minnesota is awesome? Like, very good. Like, look at Randall Cunningham coming back way back in the 90s.
He did.
Look at Brett Favre after he left the Jets.
He had one good year.
Minnesota had a great year. They went to the playoffs. And
they should have went to the Super Bowl.
Yes, the NFC Championship. So
they had the Bounty Gate with the Saints.
Yeah. But my point is, look at the difference between the Jets and Minnesota. This is a great segue to Sam Darnold leaving a crappy situation and now in a good situation. If I were Sam Darnold, I'd be like, yo, let's find out wherever I stand and wherever you feel it's comfortable for you, comfortable for me. Let's figure it out. I know I need to prove myself. Let's make it a bonus. Let's make it incentivized. Let's do that. But give me a base of this. I think they will be extremely competitive for many years. And they're going to ask the wide receivers, Jefferson, they're going to ask, hey, do you like Sam Darnold? Obviously he likes him because they're balling right now.
Yeah, they are.
Truly, 28-10, Sam Darnold is going to throw interceptions. That's what he does.
Right.
But if they can eliminate.
Which he's done much better this year. He's only thrown 5.
Yeah. If he can eliminate those, even, to maybe, 1 every 4 games, which he kind of is on pace right now. Like, well, he's
he'll throw. I think he'll throw under 10. I think he'll keep it under 10.
So,
and he had 1 game with like 4. So that was the other issue. If you remove that game, he's played very, very well.
Dude,
but the issue in Minnesota. The issue in Minnesota is J.J. McCarthy, who they drafted, will be coming back. Yeah. So do you keep Sam Darnold around and, try to groom J.J. McCarthy? Or do you hand the keys to J.J. McCarthy? Because we looked at, if they were to franchise Sam Darnold, it'd cost them $40 million. That would be the going rate for a franchise quarterback,
right?
To use the franchise tag. So do you put the franchise tag on him? Do you try to sign him? I agree with you. You try to sign him to a long-term deal with incentives, and that will make the difference. You incentivize it for him to play better and make more money. And then J.J. McCarthy, who I didn't think was that great to begin with. Right. I thought that was a reach to pick him 10th.
Right.
They did so out of desperation.
I agree with you on that one.
Because, they lost Cousins and they needed a quarterback.
I do.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Now the other situation we talked about was Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Ooh. And I know how much you love the Pittsburgh Steelers. Russell Wilson has been playing out of his mind, and Jameis Winston hasn't been playing terrible. He threw for 212, but I mean he's got 13 touchdowns and 9 picks on the year. But the issue is Deshaun Watson and his contract. Basically, they cannot release him in 2025 without taking a dead salary cap hit at $130 million.
God bless Deshaun Watson's agent.
That's what Dave said. Dave said his agent's David Malgatti or something. And he's the only person in the NFL that has a fully guaranteed contract. And that's what ticked off all the other owners because everyone wants one now. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, his contract alone prevents them. Like Frank, the other co-host of the show, said, you know what? I'd pay him the money and then I just tell him to go sit home. I wouldn't want him part of the team. We'll pay you. We'll go with Jameis Winston, and you will pay you, and just you're not part of the team because he hasn't performed up to capabilities. And if you break down his salary based on his wins, he basically has been getting paid $25 million per win with the Cleveland Browns. So that's another tough situation. Do they re-sign Jameis Winston, or do they think Deshaun Watson can figure it out?
No. Deshaun Watson is retired.
Well, he's not retired. He's 30 years old.
Understand what I'm saying to you right now, please.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson is retired. He's tired of everything. He is retired. He's super paid. He can go to an island. He can get away from everything. He doesn't have to deal with this shit.
You're right. You're right.
Dude,
you're right.
I know I am because I've talked to many players at a professional level that have told me stories about things like this of players that they were teammates of. And I'm telling you, I would not put anything, and I loved Deshaun Watson coming out. And when all this stuff started,
I never really liked him coming out.
I loved him coming out of college. He was a beast coming out of college. He was. But I'm going to tell you this. When he got in all this bull I promise you this. Now that he got that guaranteed money and his attorneys screwed him, his attorneys took the love of the game away from him. Like his attorneys, God bless them for what they do. I'm not trying to
I mean, it was amazing what they did.
But I'm just saying, I don't even know who they are. But what I will say is this.
David Malgatti.
They steered this young man the wrong way. They steered him the wrong way, Steve. And I'm adamant about this. Like, if anybody listens, young men listen to this show, or families listen to this show and watch this show, you do not let somebody tell you what you should do just for guaranteed money, because they're going to say to you, oh, you could get hurt tomorrow. You could have this tomorrow. Oh, you could be in jail. They're going to tell, wait, aren't you on my side, Mr. Attorney guy? No, they're not. Right. They're all about themselves.
Exactly.
And Deshaun Watson got effed. He got screwed, bro. Like, he got screwed so hard to where he lost the love of the game. That's what I'm saying.
You
You
think
want to talk
because he
about
got
being,
paid that money,
dude? You talk about being
he lost the
sacked
love of the game?
in Europe. When you talk about being sacked, that means you're fired.
Yeah.
Yo, Deshaun Watson got sacked basically without knowing he got sacked. He's no longer welcome in the NFL because his mind won't allow him to be a winner anymore because he knows what happened. He knows. We don't know, but he knows. And he has put himself in such a bad position, Steve.
He
It's it,
has.
it's so sad, man. He was so talented. He was a guy that was a generational talent, man. And it's
Yeah.
so sad to see him like have to exit this way.
And Cleveland mortgaged the house to get him.
Yes.
This is going to be the first year
Bro,
that they've had a first round draft pick
it
since
hurts
the
my heart,
trade.
man, to see Deshaun Watson go out this way, man, because he's a
Well,
good dude.
he's not going to go out this way. He's not going to go out this way.
Yes, he is. He's
So
gone, bro. Who's gonna sign him?
you don't think that, okay, he has to be on the roster for 2025. They can cut him in 2026, but it's still like $70 million in dead cap money. If they play out his contract, they play out his contract.
Steve.
But you don't think someone will take a flyer on him afterwards?
No, they'd be foolish. Dumb. I would never recommend. I would, if I was the offense coordinator, I would not trust him. I don't know where his head is. I would have to have a sincere interview with him and try to understand where his mindset is, because I truly believe his mindset, like he doesn't. I don't think he even believes in himself. Have you watched his film? Like
Yeah,
he is
he's not
making
the same player.
stupid decisions. I would
Yes.
never. If I'm gonna if I'm gonna do it, he's gonna get if I'm bringing him in as an offense coordinator, he's gonna get the minimum salary, and everything is going to be predicated on your performance. Period.
Incentives. Yeah.
But he's not going to do it.
No, I mean he might do it because he's already got 230 million in the bank. He
won't
may
do
take
it,
the
bro. His
minimum.
heart's
He may
not
not.
in it, man. I know when people's heart isn't in it.
Yeah,
I
you can
know
tell.
his
You
heart.
can tell. You can tell from their body language. You can
Yep.
tell when they've
My
checked
man.
out, and he
Yes,
probably has checked out. The upset of the week would have to be Buffalo
Yes.
and Los Angeles. Nobody really saw that coming. Josh Allen still played very well, 342 yards passing, but the Rams just really put it on him, and that was that was unexpected. That was definitely unexpected.
Yeah.
Stafford was 23 of 30 for 320, two touchdowns. He was amazing.
He balled.
But the difference I think is the running game.
Yep.
The Rams had Kyron Williams, who had 87 yards rushing, only 3 yards a carry, but he scored 2 touchdowns. They rushed for 137 yards overall and 3 touchdowns. The Bills, their leading rusher was Josh Allen,
Absolutely.
who had 10 carries for 82 yards and 3 touchdowns. I think he was one of the first quarterbacks to have a 6 touchdown game in a while. I can't remember the exact stat, but that was pointed out. But I mean, do you think the Bills panic? Do you think it sets them back? They're still 10-3. They're still miles ahead of the AFC East, with the Dolphins, the only team close to them. I still think Buffalo, man, yeah, but either Buffalo or Detroit is the best team in the NFL right now.
Really?
Well, who would you say?
I think the Eagles are up there. I think I right now I
Yeah,
truly this because here's where I'm at with this.
I'll give you the Eagles,
Yeah,
but their passing
no,
game
but
is suspect.
no, but that's okay. Suspect. It's all about the running game when you get to the
Yes,
playoffs.
yes,
You
yep.
know what I mean? And the Eagles have an opportunity to with
Saquon, yep.
Saquon absolutely is a dog. But here's where I'm going with this. A couple weeks ago when the Bills beat the Chiefs, we're all like, "Oh, the Bills, the Bills, the Bills." Guess what? The Bills are somebody that can be beat
Yes, yep.
because their defense, and it's week to week, every given Sunday.
Well, yeah, any team in the NFL can be
The,
any team in the
the
NFL. They're all
Rams put
pros.
up almost 500 yards
Yeah.
on
Oh, yeah.
the Bills.
Yeah, absolutely.
And gave up 137, 6.3 per play. Like that's a first down. So,
That's huge. Yeah.
and the Bills got almost 8 yards every play. Here's my thing: third down efficiency. I always look at that. So I was trying to categorize and look up this.
We would
And
always want 40% for third downs.
yeah,
Is that what
I'd
you
like to
guys?
be closer to 45, but
Okay. Yeah.
but so the Bills, I'm sorry, the Rams, they were 11 for 15. That's almost like
Wow.
80 some percent on third down efficiency, and they
Yeah.
were 1 for 1 on fourth down. That's
Right.
not good for Buffalo.
No, that's
So
not good
that's
at
a
all.
pattern that, and you know as well as I do, when in the NFL, once somebody finds a pattern, they're going to study and study and study, and they're going to figure out who the weak guy is, who the weak side of the defense is,
Oh, yeah,
how can
that's
we,
what happens. Absolutely.
yeah. And so that's where I'm saying the Buffalo Bills do have a weakness right now. And that is on their defense when it comes to third and short, third and
Yeah.
medium right now, is what it
Yeah.
seems like. They
Yeah.
can't play man to man very well. They don't get after the pass rusher
No,
very well, and they're not able to stop the
the
runs.
run. Yeah.
Yeah, in certain situations, and that's a problem for them, man. 44-42, bro. That's not good.
Well, the good thing is the Rams are in the NFC. So
Yeah,
it's still going to be Buffalo and Kansas City, most likely, that it's going to come down to in the AFC, unless
yeah.
Pittsburgh, surprises some people and makes a run. Now we have to get to our weekly New York Football Giants talk.
Oh, the best team in the NFL.
2-11. They lose on a blocked field goal. If it could get any worse, I mean, wow. Drew Lock started the game 0 for 8. He finished 21 of 49 for 227 yards
With
and
one pick.
one interception. And he was the leading rusher with 5 carries for 59 yards.
Jeez,
And
that's sad, bro.
yeah, Tyrone Tracy, 16 carries for 45 yards. He only averaged 2.8 yards a carry. Malik Neighbors has continued to play well all year round. Slayton, it was a little bit of a disappointment. Robinson played okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, for Derek Carr to come in and get a win, good for him. He struggled.
20-31.
Yeah, I mean, and the NFC South is not the toughest division. Tampa Bay, I believe,
sucks.
Still leads. They're 7-6. Baker Mayfield, he threw 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. I like Baker Mayfield too. Rashid White did a nice job. He had 90 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
And Sean Tucker from Syracuse, three carries, 47 yards, and he averaged 15.7 yards a carry. So it'll be interesting to see how the NFC South plays out, because Tampa and the Falcons are still in the race. I don't know. I still think Tampa is the better team, and it will show. Segueing, I'll use your word, your segue.
Segue. Wah, wah, wah.
The college football playoffs.
Yes.
College football playoffs. They are the brackets are done. It's finally here.
Hey, by the way, you had some great picks, bro.
I did?
Yes, you did.
I know.
I think you beat us all.
I always beat everyone. I always beat everyone.
No doubt. That's why you're the greatest podcast in the universe, bro.
So the first round game, December 20th, Indiana and Notre Dame, and it's going to be played at South Bend. Indiana was undefeated in the Big Ten all year until the championship game. Do you think Indiana can pull off an upset against Notre Dame? Everyone still holds a little bit against Notre Dame because they lost to Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
But do you think Notre Dame has figured it out? And do you think Notre Dame can go on a run in the playoffs and, make it to the semifinals or the finals?
Let me tell you something. Okay. I'm going to preface this like this. I stayed in Chicago for about a month, right? In Wrigley, and I was training with for a company up there and whatnot. Notre Dame and Indiana are only about less than 200 miles away. And
that's right.
Go down US 31 and I-69 South, I think it is, or whatever everybody used to say. You're either a Notre Dame fan or an Indiana fan, depending upon if you like football or you like basketball. Dude, this game is this is like UConn and UMass times 20. Okay?
Right.
I promise you this. It's going to be a crazy game. I think all the Notre Dame
they don't play each other often. I mean, they're not regulars.
Yeah,
so
it's not like that in that respect. In basketball, they play each other. But what I'm saying is, if you go to Notre Dame, you don't like Indiana. If you go to Indiana, you don't like Notre Dame, is what I'm trying to get at. So here's where I'm going with this. It's going to be an exciting with a lot of hatred. And I know Notre Dame isn't known for hatred. The Catholics versus convicts.
I just watched that again, by the way. I love that.
But I do believe Notre Dame's going to win this game. Indiana had a great year. It would be unbelievable if Indiana would win this game. But I just think Notre Dame has the better athletes, has a deeper bench,
and the NIL money.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I just think and it's at Notre Dame in South Bend.
A playoff game at Notre Dame. They're going to be up for that for sure.
Yep.
The next game, SMU unfortunately lost to Clemson. They get at number 6 Penn State. Penn State has traditionally failed to win the big game, but they apparently have improved slightly. They still can't beat Ohio State. They don't beat Ohio State or Michigan, but
they don't have to beat them now. They just have to beat SMU.
No. Now they just have to beat SMU. SMU is a great story. They joined the ACC, deferring 9 years of television revenue because they said, we'll raise the money ourselves.
That's amazing.
They have an outstanding offense. Penn State was impressive even in defeat because Oregon's Oregon. I mean, I don't know if anyone can stop them. But
wow. So I know who you're picking to win the championship.
I mean, Oregon just looks incredible. They just look like they look like a team on a different level. Like if you look at the playoff bracket, I don't see a team, maybe Texas, that can match up with them. Like I don't think Ohio State does. But what are your
Oh,
thoughts
I
on it?
can't wait to have this conversation in a couple days.
Do
In a
you
couple
think? Do
weeks,
you
I
think?
should say.
Do you think that Penn State
I think
beats?
Penn State beats SMU. Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people are picking that. A lot of
Well,
people are picking that.
here's why. It's in Happy Valley. Have
And
you
the
ever been
ACC is
to
not great. Yes,
Have
I've been
you
to
ever
Happy
been to
Valley.
Happy Valley with a
Yes, there's
whiteout?
100 and some odd thousand fans there. It's going to
Yeah.
be crazy.
And a
I
whiteout?
understand.
Do you understand what SMU is walking into? It's
No,
going to
I
be
don't.
cold.
It
On
is going to
top
be
of
cool.
that mountain, those
Yes.
mountains over there in Pennsylvania where I grew up, man, it's going to be cold. It's going to be a little windy. Man, SMU
It'll
is
slow them
from,
down. Yeah.
it's in Texas, in Dallas, Texas. I've been to SMU's campus. It's probably
Right.
one of the most beautiful, pristine places. Those dudes don't have any idea what they're walking into, bro. They're gonna be like, they're gonna be so worried about. It's like when we beat when in the first round of the one AA playoffs.
Hampton. You beat Hampton.
Yes, and that's what these guys were doing. Hampton was
Yeah.
like this. I'm not coming out to warm up.
They were more worried about the cold than the game.
Yes, I see Penn State winning that game.
Yeah. I
hope you like my
I think I absolutely think Penn State is going to win the game. Yeah. My heart hopes SMU pulls it off because it'd be nice to see their story continue. They've had a great story this year, and it would be nice to see it continue. But I do think Penn State wins. Yeah. The other first round game is the 12-5 matchup, which is Clemson, the only 3-loss team to ever make the college football playoffs, against Texas. Texas, Georgia was everything that we thought it would be, but I think Texas rolls Clemson.
Oh, absolutely! I'm with you 100% on that.
Yeah. I
don't know if they roll them. I know they'll beat them. Yeah, I think they'll beat them. It should be significant.
Yeah, a home game at Texas, my God.
In Austin, like, come on, man. It'll be a lot of orange and white because Clemson's orange and both of them are orange, but it'll be more of the Texas orange, no doubt about that one.
Now this one is a little bit tougher. It's the 8-9 game, and it's Tennessee and Ohio State.
Yeah.
And most coaches in the college football playoffs are secure with their jobs. Ryan Day may not necessarily be one of them because of his loss to Michigan, and they haven't been as good as advertised. He's 66-10 overall at Ohio State, but his struggles against Michigan have killed him. Do you think, number one, that they can beat Tennessee? And number two, do you think if they were to lose, would Ryan Day actually lose his job?
Number one, do I think they can beat Tennessee?
Yeah.
1A, I believe they will beat them. It's at the Horseshoe.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been to the Horseshoe?
I have not been to the Horseshoe. It's cold. It's all cold in the Big Ten.
Not only cold, but this type of atmosphere. Yes, Tennessee fans understand that. Here's what you got to understand. The Northern fans comparison to the Southern fans. University of Tennessee. I've never been to a game there, but a lot of Southern fans are really nice. They're cordial. They love the competition. Now you do have some rednecks. I don't know who sings that.
Of course.
Yeah. I forget who sings that song. Rednecks, but it's a great song.
Probably every country
anyway.
music singer ever.
Huh?
Probably every country music singer ever sings
Ever.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I forget who it is. I have to look that one up and come back to you. But I believe Ohio State will win that game. I think the way physicality, I think they'll control the line of scrimmage.
I
I
agree.
think they have the athletes that Tennessee has, and I do believe that up front, that's what's going to help Ohio State. Plus, if there's inclement weather, can Tennessee deal with that? You know what I mean? Like, but I'm going with Ohio State on that one.
Yeah. I've never liked Tennessee. I think Ohio State runs away with it, hands down.
Yeah.
Now comes, as they say, nut cutting time. Penn State, if they win, will get Boise State, who will have a bye in the Fiesta Bowl in Arizona. Boise State is ranked number 3
I didn't
because
know we were doing all these.
Well, and why not? I mean, we got time.
Yeah.
Why not? We can run through them.
Let's go.
And they have Ashton Jeanty, the probably the Heisman Trophy winner.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Travis Hunter.
Oh, that's right, Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter's going to win. But Jeanty definitely deserves a Heisman vote.
Yeah, and he's a junior. He may come back. Who knows? Boise State gets this high of a slot because they were the highest. They finished above a Power 4 school in the rankings. So that's why they get ranked number 3 in the playoffs, and they get a bye. And they get a home game. So Penn State's going to Boise, Idaho.
Yeah.
But this is still a tough matchup for them. What are your thoughts here?
I truly believe. I think Penn State. Oh man, I forgot what I told. Man, I should have written all this stuff down because I did. I did tell Dave all these earlier.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find all that information, but I think this will be an interesting game. If Boise gets here's what I told Dave. If Boise gets behind, they cannot win.
Right, their offense doesn't support.
It doesn't allow that.
It doesn't play behind.
Now, this game is interesting, but I'm going to go with Penn State.
Yeah, I'm going with Boise State. The magic continues. Boise State has.
Oh my God, you and Dave love the offensive line.
Yeah, I do. I like teams.
Running game.
You need to run the football in the playoffs. I don't like James Franklin. I think he's a ball. He's bald. He's bald and he probably smells. So I like Boise State.
You just described like what you might be.
I'm not bald.
I don't know if you smell, but you're bald.
James Franklin's bald and he smells, and he doesn't win big games. So Boise State's going to win. Boise State's going to win.
I love it. Okay.
The other quarterfinal game, Texas, who we picked, Arizona State gets the bye because they won the Big 12, I believe. And Arizona State has had an incredible year. Texas,
that little running back they have, Barracuda. I just
Texas has had an incredible year too. They're obviously going to play Quinn and Archie Manning. They use both of them. So, what do you think about this? Like, I think Texas rolls through them.
I agree with you. I totally agree. I think what's his name? I call him Barracuda just because he's like he just runs through things like Barracuda, like viciously, and his legs are so short.
It Cam Scattleboro?
Scatterbo or something. Yeah,
he's got
Scatterbo. I think it's
1,568 yards rushing, 19 touchdowns.
That mother sucker is He's
he
a
breaks
son of a
tackles.
gun.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I asked Dave, I said, what ethnicity is he? Is he like Indian American, African Indian American? Look,
Is he
I don't
Samoan?
mind causing controversy because in America, you know what we are? We're a whole bunch of
We're a melting
people.
pot.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
a melting pot. So look, if anybody gets offended by the fact that I'm asking what nationality he is, go ahead, Google me, talk to me, we'll do it. But this dude is a beast, man. He's a stud.
He's a white boy. Okay. All right. So maybe
He's a
he is.
pale white boy.
Maybe he is Native American. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't think he looks
maybe.
Native. I don't think he looks Native American.
Scatabo. I don't even know what ethnicity Scatabo is. It ends with a vowel, so I was thinking he's
Maybe it's
Italian.
Italian. Who knows?
Right. You know what I mean? You know what I'm thinking. Like any name in the Northeast that ends with a
With a
vowel,
vowel, they're
you
usually
know.
guineas. I know.
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
Yeah.
Well, on my mom's side.
And we have
So,
fun here. We have fun on this as well.
well, we have to. We have to have fun.
Absolutely.
We have
It's
to have
nothing
fun.
personal.
We have to have fun and baby oil. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
Lots
Fun
of baby
and
oil and
educate
fun.
with baby oil.
And then, I don't agree with putting just the tip in. I think that's not fair. I think you got to get the whole head in there. You can't just tease them with the tip. Just put the head in. Just do it, Shane.
Hey, just a tip. That's Wedding Crashers right there. That's a great reference.
It's just a little dip to the tip.
So hey, what if I accidentally hit your hair? Ouch, you're on my hair. I mean,
yeah, I know. You're right. I give it to you. So according to what we predicted, Ohio State and number 1 Oregon, because Oregon has the bye. Yeah. What do you see in this game? Because we both think Ohio State's going to beat Tennessee. It's going to be number 1 Oregon versus Ohio State.
Yeah,
and it's going to be at the Rose Bowl.
Interesting game because remember,
I do not think it's going to be an interesting game. But go ahead.
Remember, they played the first week of the season.
They did, yes. Yep.
So I'm still gonna, and it's hard to beat somebody twice in 1 year.
It's very hard.
But I'm going Oregon.
I'm going Oregon too. I'm going Oregon all the way. I think Oregon's they're just on a different level. And then the other.
You thought I was going to say Ohio State, didn't you?
No, I didn't, because it's in Pasadena. If it was in Ohio State, maybe.
There you go.
But in Pasadena,
I'd still take Oregon, to be honest.
Yeah, and the other quarterfinal, Notre Dame and Georgia. I just think this is going to be a laughing stock. Georgia's going to run away with it. But it depends on the injury to Carson Beck, how severe it is. If Carson Beck doesn't play or is limited, Notre Dame wins.
I don't know if they win. I don't think Notre Dame has seen the speed.
No, they don't have the athletes.
Uga defense.
No, you're absolutely right. Right.
That may play a part as well. I agree with you, though. I think Carson Beck injury, that's going to play a big difference in the outcome. So,
all right, we'll go Notre Dame, and you have Penn State. What do you think?
I have Uga.
Oh, you picked Boise too?
No, I didn't pick Boise.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who do we have?
I have
it was Penn State versus Boise State. So you picked Penn State to beat Boise State, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I have Boise State. Okay. So that means that I would have Boise State against Notre Dame. Notre Dame would beat Boise State. So
wait. Okay.
Yeah, Notre Dame would beat Boise State as opposed to you have Penn State in there. But you still think Notre Dame would beat Penn State in Miami.
Damn it. I had this all pulled up a second ago. Let me pull this up.
No, I mean, I don't think there's any chance that Penn State competes with Notre Dame. James Franklin's bald and smells. He's not winning the big game. And Boise State is not beating
Man, I'm glad you're not saying this next to me with some of my buddies from Penn State and Pennsylvania.
Yeah, well, Boise State, the Cinderella story.
I would have to break up a fight of a lot of people that I love.
So, do you think Notre Dame or Penn State?
Notre Dame or Penn State? I would. Oh my goodness! Like now you're talking bad stuff.
Bad stuff.
Yeah, like you can't. Come on, man.
No baby oil.
From Pennsylvania, you cannot. Like
you can't pick against Penn State. Is that what you're saying?
Or you're a huge Notre Dame guy. Like you can't be.
I loathe Notre Dame more than anything.
Yeah,
but I just don't think James Franklin can win the big one. I don't think James Franklin has a chance in hell.
You say that all the time, and then one time he does. So,
well, the one time hasn't happened yet, Shane. When's the one time happened?
But here's the deal. People say that all the time, but then they win it, and then you're like, oh, he hasn't won the other big one. So,
okay.
Here's what I'm saying is,
listen, if Penn State rolls through and wins 3 games in the college football playoffs,
I will
walk to Penn State.
Oh, I want to hear this one.
I will walk to Penn State naked.
You'll walk
to Penn State naked. Yes.
If they win the whole thing.
I'm going back. I'm trying to look. Okay, so they play Boise State. They beat Boise State. Great.
Well, they play SMU first.
Right. They play SMU. They play Boise State.
Yeah.
And then they would have to play Notre Dame.
Or Georgia.
And then they would play
Georgia.
And then they would be in the
and then they would
championship game
play
against Oregon.
Yeah. Because both of us, I think, have Oregon going.
If they win all those games, yes, I'm walking to Penn State naked.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll take a flight and rent a car, and I'll drive right next to you. So that way, when you get pulled over, you can just hop in to the car. And then nobody will get in trouble, but you'll be
right.
All hell.
No, I'll probably still get a ticket for a decent exposure.
No. I'll just be like, hey, he lost his straws. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll believe that.
Yeah.
If not, it'll be probably Texas, Oregon. So either way.
Well, it can't be Texas, Oregon, can it?
Well, with the way you have it, I don't believe so, because I think you picked Texas to lose to Georgia, was it? I'm going back. Yes. No, you picked
Texas.
You picked Texas. You picked Texas to beat Clemson. Yep. And
we
then
didn't pick that other one, that Texas game.
Oh, it'd be Texas and Arizona State. Yeah. I think we both said Texas beats Arizona State. Yes. And then it would be Texas against either Oregon or Georgia.
Well, Texas versus it would be Texas, probably Oregon. It would be Texas versus Oregon to get to the national championship.
Yes, and then it would be Texas versus Notre Dame
versus Oregon.
Yeah. Who do you like there?
I have Uga and Oregon playing in the national championship, and I have Uga winning the game. Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely.
And who's Uga again? Cam?
Georgia.
Okay. The dog.
That's what they say. Uga.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah. Again, it depends on Carson Beck. If Notre Dame wins the national championship, I'll probably jump off a building. I despise Notre Dame and everything about them, and I don't want them to win. I really don't. So you've heard it here first. Good predictions. Good predictions. We'll keep talking about the college football playoffs. Yes. We'll look into the Syracuse game. I still think it's ridiculous that Boston College is playing in the Pinstripe Bowl and UConn's playing in the Fenway Bowl. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who decided that? Which genius picked that? Syracuse always plays well in the Pinstripe Bowl.
It's all about that money, man.
To see that, yeah. But yeah, we'll keep it rolling. Good show, good picks.
Love it.
We'll see what happens. For my cohort and sponsor of baby oil and legendary UConn quarterback Shane Stafford, who will he's only giving you the tip. He's only giving you the tip, nothing else.
Tip of the iceberg.
I don't like it. I don't like that. I think that's cruel and unusual punishment. And I think they should get it all. But you just want to get that little tip in there. Go ahead.
Just to see if you like it.
No, well, I want to go all in. I don't want to see if I like it. I'm throwing it all in. And for myself, Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe, this has been the Studio 25 Podcast Network with Creative Outpost, executive producer David E. Warner, Steve Cully's Festivus of Sports. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges and just throw them at Uga.